Danny Flexon here for SecondsOut. I'd like to be joined by my good friend John Ryder ahead of what is the biggest fight, certainly in the last couple of years for you, Danny JACOBS. What do you expect him to bring to the table?
The second biggest fight. Remember when you come around my house that day and you were trying to get all the food out the fridge? Yeah, we had to have a tear up in the kitchen.
I think we called it a draw, didn't we, in the end?
Shook hands and called it a draw. No, just listen, I've had big fights in my career previously. Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Rocky Fielding, but this is the biggest of them all. Big name American, former two-time middleweight world champion. His career deserves respect, but Saturday night that's got to go out the window and we've got to go in there and have a real fight.
Now, you'd said before, as they mentioned up at the press conference, that it's over for the loser of this fight. Danny JACOBS didn't seem to agree with that and said, you know, win or lose, he's going to carry on. Did that kind of give a chink into his psyche and how he's approaching this fight?
I don't think so. I mean, he's a former two-time middleweight champion. He can go on and fight a YouTuber. He can go and earn a fortune doing that. So there'll always be the command to fight someone like Danny JACOBS. Whereas for me, I can't see myself dropping back down to 6 and 8 round level, trying to get back on early on shows and get by. So it's as well, I've got a family now to think of. I've got a partner and 2 children. It's how long I can keep putting them through this and going away on camp and whatnot and leaving them, neglecting them and leaving them to it. So it'd be nice to win Saturday night, get active and get what I deserve out of the sport.
How much do you take from his previous performance against Gabe Rosado? A lot's been made of that, whether he might be slipping or he's not suited to the weight class. How much do you take from that particular fight?
I don't really read too far into it. I mean, I was fortunate enough to box on a show behind closed doors, and I mean, what was really off-putting was the ring was really rattly when you step on one spot. So, I mean, when things like that are putting you off in a fight, it just shows you where your mind's not on it. So, listen, like I say, these fight behind closed doors, they threw up some odd results. So, I don't look too much into it. Rosado's a good fighter. You've seen what he's done since that fight. Was it Bektev, the fight? He stopped him. Then he had a great fight with Munguia. So Rosado's still a force to be reckoned with, but I thought Danny JACOBS would be the same.
Now, he said that at middleweight, he was struggling to make the limit. The flip side of that is his strength at middleweight, because he was huge for it, was a big advantage in some of his bigger fights. Do you think he's as suited to 168? Do you think he's more effective at 168 or 160?
Well, it's hard to know. I mean, we're judging him by fighting Chavez, who came in well overweight. Then the Rosado fight where he didn't shine. But I'm a proper super middleweight now. I was even toying with light heavyweight for an opportunity, but it didn't come through. So I'm back where I belong. And listen, I was lucky enough to be ringside when he fought Canelo, and he had no strength there that night. And, he was found wanting at times. So let's see how he is at 168 come Saturday.
He's only lost inside schedule early in his career to Dimitri Pirog, who may have gone on to be an amazing fighter. He was very good at the time anyway. Have you got the power, do you believe, to stop him at 168?
I don't really read too far into that stoppage. I mean, Pirog was a force, and it's a shame we never got to see what he could really achieve in this sport. But like Danny's had an illness since then, and it's hard to know if that was in him at the time of the fight and whether that had any effect or any doing on the fight. So I don't read too much into that. It was a long time ago. I will try and get him out there at some point, believe me, but I'm in there for the long haul Saturday night, and the most important thing is to get my hand raised.
As you alluded to there, he's overcome cancer, heroic, the miracle man. Normally, a big fight like this on home turf be a huge advantage, but it's going to be hard for fans to kind of boo Danny JACOBS or cheer you against him, isn't it?
I'm sure if I went to the States, they'd boo me, so give him the respect he deserves, but boo him all you want. No, I'm joking. Listen, there's 2 men going into the fight. Cheer us, boo us, do what you got to do, but as long as you're clapping us on the way out, that's all that matters.
What's the future for the winner of this fight? We talked about the loser having nowhere to go potentially, but what's the future for the winner with the belts currently still with Canelo?
Listen, I think there's big fights still there. Obviously, the likes of Benavidez is fighting eliminated with Lemieux. Andrade is now stating he wants to move up. So there is big fights in the super middleweight division still. Whether there's a title on the line or not for them, but I think we've got to make these fights happen regardless of titles, just to keep the division moving.
Canelo's reportedly close to signing a new deal with DAZN, which would see him fight Bivol up at light heavyweight and then come back down to 168 for the 3rd fight with Golovkin. Do you see him coming through both of those fights if they happen?
Yeah, definitely, but does that geezer need any more money? Can he not share some with us? Listen, he's the man of boxing at the moment, and he calls the shots, he does what he wants to do, but listen, I think it makes sense to an extent. I mean, if you're going to go to 175, Go to 175 and stay there, clear up there. Let the titles at 168 become free and vacant, and let other people get a look in. Listen, the fight with Golovkin makes sense. We all want to see the trilogy. I feel personally it's one apiece, so it'd be nice to see us decider.
Now, if you are to fight Canelo, if he does decide to stay at 168 after the Golovkin fight, should it happen? A lot of ifs and buts here, obviously. What do you need to do to put yourself in position where Canelo will look at you as a viable option alongside the Golovkins and Charlos?
I just need to go in there, make a statement Saturday night with Danny Jacobs. I'm sure there'll be a final eliminator after that, regardless. So just make statements. I think Canelo knows who I am now. He's seen my performances against Smith, and I'm sure he'll see this performance Saturday night. So I should be on his radar.
Is it a bit disappointing that he hasn't given the belts up yet? Because where you're ranked, where Jacobs is ranked, this could easily be for a vacant title. It's worthy of a world title fight.
Yeah, I mean, in normal circumstances, yeah, this could be for a vacant title. But listen, like I say, he's the man of boxing. He's got everything wrapped up at the moment. But in time, we'll get what we deserve.
Winning this fight because of the position it puts you in and being in line for big, lucrative fights, how could it change your life?
Oh, massively. I think not so for me, but for my children. My partner, they've stuck by me through thick and thin. There's been highs, there's been lows, but we're a real unit. My family deserve this, I deserve this, and I think let's just go on, kick on, cement a legacy for myself, and just enjoy life.
Then you have more food in the fridge when people visit.
Well, that's it, yeah. No rolling around in the kitchen with you again.
Yeah, no Royal Rumble. Very best of luck for Saturday night. Can't wait to watch it, and yeah, hope it all goes well.
Thank you.